The fluorescent lights buzzed like angry hornets as Alex Harper pushed open the door to his classroom at Lincoln High, the scent of stale coffee from his thermos still clinging to his coat. Desks lay overturned like fallen soldiers, papers shredded and scattered across the floor in a blizzard of white confetti, and his prized world map, curled at the edges from years of passionate geography lessons, hung in tatters from the projector arm. But it was the single sheet of notebook paper, pinned to his desk with a jagged shard of broken chalk, that stopped his heart. "You're next, queer. We know where you live. Burn in hell." Alex's knees buckled, his hand gripping the doorframe as the words blurred through the hot sting of tears. 20 years teaching in this sleepy Midwestern town of Elmwood, Illinois, and he'd always played it safe. Ties knotted just so, smiles measured, never a whisper of his life outside these walls. But someone had peeled back the layers, exposed the quiet dinners with his partner Jordan, the pride pins tucked in his drawer like guilty secrets. Who? And why now, when the school board was already sniffing around rumors of inappropriate influences on the kids? He scanned the wreckage, heart pounding in sync with the distant slam of lockers down the hall. Footprints in the glitter of glass from the shattered clock, size 10, maybe 11, led to the window, cracked open to the pre-dawn chill. Alex's mind raced. Vandals from the football team, bitter over his zero tolerance on slurs? Or worse, the anonymous emails he'd been getting, laced with Bible verses and threats? He snatched the note, folding it into his pocket like a venomous spider, and dialed campus security on trembling fingers. "Room 204, he whispered when they answered. It's bad." By the time Principal Elena Vasquez arrived, coffee in hand and eyes widening behind her cat-eye glasses, the first period bell was minutes away. She was a no-nonsense Latina woman in her 50s, the kind who'd fought her own battles against the old guard and won. But even she paused at the threshold, her sharp intake of breath echoing Alex's dread. "Dios mío, Alex. Who the hell would do this?" She stepped over a toppled chair, her sensible flats crunching on paper scraps, and knelt to examine the desk, scratched with slurs in what looked like a box cutter's cruel script. Alex forced a steady voice, though it cracked like thin ice. "I don't know. But that note. It's personal." He pulled it out, the paper crinkling like a confession. Elena read it once, twice, her face hardening from shock to steel. "This isn't kids being kids. This is a threat. We're calling the cops, and you're not teaching today. Go home, lock your doors." She straightened, already pulling out her phone, but Alex shook his head, a stubborn fire flickering in his chest. "I can't just run. These kids, they need to see I'm not broken." Elena eyed him, the weight of their shared history passing between them. Late-night grading sessions where she'd confessed her divorce, and he'd almost let slip about Jordan's proposal last spring. "You're braver than most, Harper. But bravery gets you killed if you're not smart." As sirens wailed closer, Alex's phone buzzed, a text from Jordan. "Heard about the school. Coming now. Love you." Simple words, but they anchored him, a lifeline in the storm. The police were efficient. Elmwood PD's Detective Ramirez, a burly guy with a mustache that screamed 90s cop show, taking statements while officers dusted for prints. "Hate crime," he muttered, snapping photos of the note. "We'll canvass the neighborhood, check security cams." "You got enemies, Mr. Harper?" Alex hesitated, the question a knife twist. Enemies? In a town where Sunday sermons still preached fire and brimstone for sinners like him? He thought of the PDA meetings where whispers followed him like smoke, or the anonymous complaint to the board about his lifestyle, influencing the GSA club he advised. "Just small-town politics," Alex said finally, forcing a shrug. Ramirez nodded, unsurprised. "We'll keep an eye out. Change your locks, vary your route home." As they filed out, Elena pulled Alex aside in the emptying hallway, the echo of students' chatter a mocking normalcy. "Board meeting tomorrow. They'll use this to push you out. You know that, right?" Alex nodded, the weight settling like lead. Lincoln High was his home, these walls witnesses to the quiet revolutions he'd sparked in shy kids finding their voices. To lose it now? Unthinkable. Jordan arrived in a flurry of concern, his pickup truck screeching into the lot like a declaration. Tall and broad-shouldered, with that easy grin that had hooked Alex 5 years ago at a Chicago Pride rally, he enveloped Alex in a hug that smelled of sawdust and safety. Babe, what the actual fuck? Jordan murmured into his hair, strong arms a bulwark against the chaos. They were opposites in so many ways. Jordan the rough-edged contractor, all calluses and confidence. Alex the bookish educator, glasses perpetually sliding down his nose. But their love was the steady hum beneath it all, forged in stolen weekends and whispered promises. In the truck on the way home, Jordan's hand on Alex's knee was a silent vow. We'll figure this out. Maybe it's time to go public, show them we're not hiding. Alex leaned his head back, watching Elmwood's flat fields blur by under a slate-gray sky. And risk more. The note knew where I live, Jord. That's us. Jordan's jaw tightened, the vein in his neck pulsing. Then we fight. Together. Their bungalow on Maple Street was a sanctuary of mismatched furniture and framed photos from road trips, Alex's favorites, capturing Jordan mid-laugh under rainbow arches. But as Alex stepped inside, the note burned in his pocket, a talisman of intrusion. He unfolded it again, tracing the blocky handwriting. You're next, queer. Next after what? The vandalism at the local queer youth center last month, spray-painted with slurs? Or the whispers about Riley Thompson, the sharp-witted junior in his third-period history class, who'd come out as non-binary last semester and faced hell for it? Riley. The name snagged like a burr. They'd bonded over shared essays on Stonewall, Riley's eyes lighting up with a hunger for stories of resistance. But lately, Riley had been distant, skipping GSA meetings, put up in the back row. Had they seen something? Known. Alex's phone rang. Elena. Cops found a partial print. Matches a kid from the wrestling team, but he's denying it. Says he was home. Alex's stomach twisted. Anyone else? A pause. One thing, your desk drawer was rifled. The one with your personal stuff. The pride pins. The photo of him and Jordan at the lake. Violated, twice over. That night, sleep was a fickle visitor. Jordan snores a distant comfort as Alex stared at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. Dawn crept in, painting the room in hesitant gold, when his phone lit up with a school alert. Assembly at 8 a.m. on resilience. Elena's email read. Alex dressed in his armor, a crisp button-down, slacks pressed sharp, and kissed Jordan goodbye, the man's worry-etched face a mirror of his own. Call if you need me, Jordan said, lingering at the door. The assembly hall buzzed with restless energy. Students slouched in bleachers under banners faded from pep rallies past. Alex took the stage beside Elena, the microphone cold in his grip. What happened in my classroom wasn't a prank, he began, voice steady despite the tremor in his chest. It was hate, and hate thrives in silence. Murmurs rippled, some shocked, others smirking. In the third row, Riley's eyes met his, wide and shadowed, a flicker of something unreadable passing between them. As applause petered out, Riley slipped him a folded note during passing period, their hand brushing his like a secret. Read it later, Riley whispered, voice low and urgent, before vanishing into the crowd. Alex's pulse thrummed. Another note? He waited until lunch, unfolding it in the empty staff room. It wasn't the wrestlers. It's bigger. Meet me after school, behind the bleachers. Trust me, R. The words chilled him deeper than the vandal's threat. Trust a student? In this minefield? But Riley's gaze that morning, pleading, almost desperate, tugged at the teacher in him, the one who'd promised these kids a safe harbor. Jordan texted, "How's the day?" Alex typed back, complicated. "Love you." Then, steeling himself, he headed to fifth period, the note a weight in his pocket beside its sinister twin. Behind the bleachers after the final bell, the air smelled of damp earth and faded glory, chain link rattling in the wind. Riley emerged from the shadows, backpack slung low, their dark hair falling in waves over a face pale with nerves. "Mr. Harper," they started, voice barely above the rustle of leaves. "I saw them. Last night." Alex's breath caught. "Who?" Riley glanced around, as if the empty field might sprout ears. "The Guardians. That group from the church on Oak. They're targeting you because of the GSA. And because of who you love." The Guardians, Elmwood's self-appointed moral patrol, whispers of cross-burnings in the 80s now evolved into online forums spewing venom. Alex had dismissed them as relics, but Riley's eyes, fierce and frightened, painted a different picture. "How do you know?" he pressed gently. Riley shifted, fingers twisting their hoodie strings. I, I used to go to that church. Before I came out. My dad, he's one of them. He doesn't know about me yet, but he talks. About cleaning house at the school. Alex's world tilted. The boys, Riley's, confession a gut punch. A student, trapped between family loyalty and their own truth, risking everything to warn him. Riley, this is dangerous. You shouldn't. I have to. Riley cut in, voice cracking. You gave me the courage to be me. Last year, when I told you about my name change, you said it was brave. Now it's your turn. The raw honesty hung between them, a bridge over the chasm of fear. They talked for an hour, Riley spilling details. Meetings in the church basement, lists of sinners that included Alex's name, scrawled beside slurs. The vandalism was a message, a prelude. They're planning something bigger. A protest at the board meeting tomorrow. With signs. And worse. Alex nodded, mind whirling. We'll tell Elena. Together. Riley hesitated, then nodded, a tentative alliance forged in the fading light. Driving home, Alex replayed the conversation, Riley's vulnerability mirroring his own at their age. Closeted in a Bible-Belt suburb, love a forbidden fruit. Jordan was waiting on the porch, toolbox at his feet, mid-repair on the squeaky step. Rough day? He asked, pulling Alex into an embrace that chased the chill away. Over dinner, Jordan's famous chili, spicy enough to wake the dead. Alex unburdened, the note from Riley joining the vandals on the table like warring missives. Jordan listened, his carpenter's hands still as stone. Kid's got guts. But this guardian's crap? We need proof. His eyes darkened, protective fire kindling. I won't let them touch you. Alex reached across, lacing their fingers. Us. They can't touch us. In that moment, love wasn't fireworks but bedrock, steady against the gathering storm. The next morning, the school parking lot was a battlefield of picket signs, the guardians out in force, 20 strong, faces twisted in righteous fury under crosses and flags. Protect our kids, one bellowed through a megaphone, the chant swelling like thunder. Alex parked at the edge, Riley's borrowed voice recorder heavy in his pocket, proof from a late-night stakeout they'd done together, capturing slurs and plans in the church lot. Elena met him at the door, her face a mask of resolve. Board's inside. Let's end this. The meeting room reeked of tension, board members fidgeting under fluorescent glare, the guardian's chants seeping through the walls like smoke. Mr. Hargrove, the silver-haired chair with a perpetual scowl, cleared his throat. Mr. Harper, this incident raises concerns about safety and suitability. The word dripped venom, eyes sliding to Alex's tie, as if it hid sins. Before Alex could respond, the door burst open. Riley, breathless, flanked by two officers. We have evidence, they announced, holding up the phone with the recording. Gasps rippled, Hargrove's face purpled. As the audio played, harsh voices plotting lessons for the deviant teacher. The room fractured, allies emerging from unlikely corners. Ms. Patel, the quiet math rep, stood first. This isn't suitability. This is survival. Outside, the protest turned chaotic, a scuffle breaking out as counter-protesters, students from GSA, parents like Jordan, who'd rallied overnight, pushed back. Alex watched from the window, heart in his throat, as Jordan waded in, de-escalating with calm words and unyielding presence. Riley joined him, sign held high, love wins. A bottle sailed, shattering near Jordan's feet. He didn't flinch, just extended a hand to a hesitating guardian, the man's face crumpling in confusion. By evening, arrests were made, Riley's father among them. The shock of his child stand a personal earthquake. In the aftermath, Alex and Jordan walked the trash classroom, now a canvas for rebuilding. We'll paint it rainbow, Jordan joked, but his eyes shone serious. Riley stopped by later, bandage on their knuckles from the fray. Thanks for believing me. Alex hugged them, brief and paternal. You saved us all. Weeks blurred into healing. Town halls where stories spilled like balm. The board issuing a zero-tolerance policy, pinned in Alex's own hand. Love deepened in the quiet. Jordan's proposal renewed under starlight. Rings exchanged with vows unbroken. And in the classroom, desks righted, lessons resumed with new fire. History not as dates, but as heartbeats of the marginalized. But shadows lingered. One night, A new note slipped under the door. Not threat, but thanks, anonymous. You showed me it's okay to fight. Alex smiled, folding it beside the old ones. Elmwood wasn't perfect, but it was changing, one brave heart at a time. As autumn leaves skittered across the quad like fleeing secrets, Alex Harper settled into the rhythm of reconstruction, his classroom a phoenix of poster board and fresh paint. The rainbow stripes Jordan had insisted on gleamed under the lights, a defiant splash against the beige walls, and students trickled in with wary glances, their chatter a fragile normalcy. Riley claimed the front desk now, notebook open, pen tapping a Morse code of lingering nerves. You okay? Alex asked during warm-up, his voice pitched low. Riley shrugged, but their eyes, hazel flecked with gold, betrayed the storm. Dad's out on bail. Won't look at me. The words landed heavy, a reminder that victories were Pyrrhic in families fractured by truth. Alex nodded, choosing his response like a delicate incision. Give him time. Or don't. You're the expert on your story. Riley's lips quirked, a ghost of their old spark. Says the guy who quotes Baldwin in parent-teacher conferences. The bell rang, and the lesson unfolded on the Harlem Renaissance. Voices like Langston Hughes weaving dreams from despair. But midway, a knock shattered the flow. Detective Ramirez, hat in hand, face etched with apology. Mr. Harper got a lead on the vandals. 2 Guardians kids confessed after their folks flipped. Alex's stomach knotted. Kids, 16, maybe 17, taught to hate before they could question. What now? Ramirez sighed. Juvenile court. Community service. But the ringleader? He's vanished. Church pastor's nephew. Whispers spread like ink in water. By lunch, the halls hummed with speculation. Alex found Jordan in the lot, leaning against his truck with a thermos of coffee, the steam curling like unspoken fears. Heard the news, Jordan said, handing over the cup. Their fingers brushed, a current of reassurance. You think he'll come back? Alex sipped, the bitterness grounding him. Hope not. But if he does. Jordan's grin was wolfish. I've got a sledgehammer with his name on it. They laughed, but it rang hollow, the what-if suspector at the feast. That afternoon, GSA met in the library, folding tables pushed together like a council of war. 20 kids, a mosaic of identities, trans flags pinned to backpacks, by stripes on nails, shared stories under the guise of craft night. But the air thickened when Miah, a soft-spoken sophomore with a crush on half the volleyball team, raised her hand. What if it's not over? My brother's on the wrestling team. He said stuff about finishing the job. Riley tensed beside Alex, fists clenching. We record everything now. No more surprises. The group nodded, a pact sealed in marker-scrawled posters. Hate has no home here. As they dispersed, Alex caught Riley lingering, their gaze fixed on a photo wall. Snaps from last spring's Pride Walk, faces blurred for safety. You ever think about bringing your dad? Alex ventured. Riley snorted. He'd combust. But maybe one day. Home was a haven, Jordan's renovations turning the bungalow into a fortress of warmth. Reinforced doors, a Ring camera blinking like a watchful eye. Dinner was takeout Thai, spicy noodles tangled like their thoughts. Elena's pushing for a diversity audit, Alex said, twirling a fork. Finally, Jordan hummed approval, but his foot nudged Alex's under the table, a silent and us? Alex met his eyes, the blue depths pulling him in. After the holidays, when the dust settles. Jordan's hand covered his. Dust never settles in this town. But we will. Sleep came fitful, dreams of shattered glass morphing into church steeples aflame. Morning brought rain, relentless sheets blurring the windshield as Alex drove, radio crackling with local news. Elmwood Church faces backlash after hate group ties. The pastor's voice, oily and indignant, defended the faithful. Alex switched it off, jaw set. At school, the lot was half empty, storm-chased, but a figure huddled by the flagpole caught his eye. Riley's dad, trench coat sodden, face a map of regret. Mr. Thompson, Alex said, approaching slow as a spooked deer. The man straightened, eyes red-rimmed. I need to talk to Riley. Please. The plea cracked something in Alex, the teacher warring with the protector. They're in class. But you hurt them, you lose that right. Thompson deflated, rain tracing his cheeks. I know. The church. It twisted me. Seeing Riley stand up yesterday, like a mirror I couldn't face. Alex softened, just a fraction. Then fix it. Start with listening. Riley's reaction at lunch was a whirlwind. Fury first, tears second, then a guarded hope. He wants to meet. At the diner. Alex nodded. I'll chaperone if you want. Riley's grin broke through, tentative. Deal. The diner was a relic, Formica counters scarred from decades of pie and confessions. Thompson arrived early, fidgeting with a menu, his bulk diminished by shame. Riley slid into the booth opposite, Alex at the counter nursing coffee, close but not crowding. Words stumbled at first, apologies wrote, then raw. I failed you. Thompson admitted, voice gravel. Pushed you into that. That hate because I was scared of mine. Riley leaned forward, voice steady. I'm non-binary, Dad. Not a phase. Me. The man nodded, tears spilling. I see that now. Proud, even. The hug was awkward, arms mismatched, but it held. A first stitch in a torn seam. Word spread, the story a quiet ripple. Father and child reconciling, the church's grip loosening. But undercurrents stirred. Late that week, Alex's email pinged. Anonymous, subject watch your back. Attached, a photo, him and Jordan at the lake, candid and intimate, time-stamped last summer. Stalked. The violation burned, colder than rain. He showed Elena, who looped in Ramirez, digital forensics. We're tracing it. Jordan's rage was a quiet thunder, pacing the living room as thunder rumbled outside. This ends now. I'm calling my brother in Chicago. He's got lawyer friends, civil rights types. Alex pulled him down, foreheads touching. We fight smart. For Riley, for the kids. Jordan's breath steadied, lips brushing Alex's in a kiss that tasted of salt and steel. Always. The weekend brought a town fair, Elmwood's attempt at unity, booths of funnel cake and face paint, brass band oomping under tents. Alex volunteered at the GSA table, rainbow stickers flying as kids approached shyly. Riley manned the megaphone, leading cheers. Love is love. Their dad hovered nearby, awkward in a volunteer vest, handing out water bottles like pennants. Jordan grilled burgers at the food stand, apron tied with flair, his laugh booming over the crowd. But midway through, a shadow fell. The missing ringleader, Pastor Ellis's nephew, face gone under a hoodie, eyes locked on Alex. Freak. He spat, low enough for plausible deniability, but Riley heard, stepping forward like a shield. Walk away, Kyle. It's over. The boy sneered, but hesitated, Thompson's bulk appearing at Riley's side. Listen to my kid. Kyle slunk off, but the encounter lingered, a sour note in the melody. That night, as fireworks cracked the sky, Alex and Jordan sat on their porch swing, the booms echoing heartbeats. Beautiful chaos, Jordan murmured, arm around Alex's shoulders. Alex leaned in, the warmth seeping deep. Ours. But in his pocket, the phone buzzed. Ramirez, trace on the photo. It's him. Kyle. We're bringing him in. Monday dawned crisp, leaves turning fire orange as Alex prepped for parent-teacher conferences. The school was abuzz, Kyle's arrest the talk of coffee clatches. Underage drinking at the church lot, the photo snapped from a borrowed phone. Ellis, the pastor, issued a statement. A troubled youth, not our way, but cracks showed, congregants defecting to more tolerant pews. Conferences unfolded in the gym, folding chairs creaking under weights of expectation. Most parents were cordial, praising Alex's inspiring classes, but Hargrove loomed last, his wife at his side like a silent juror. Impressive recovery, he grunted, flipping through Riley's report card. But this, activism, divides the community. Alex met his gaze, unflinching. It unites the hurt ones. Hargrove's lips thinned, but he signed off, a grudging nod. Riley's dad arrived late, tie askew, but beaming. Straight A's? Damn kid. They hugged, the sight a quiet triumph. As the gym emptied, Elena pulled Alex aside. Board vote next week. Full support for you, and the club. Relief flooded, sweet as rain after drought. But home brought a twist. A letter in the mailbox, handwritten, no stamp. Forgive me. I was wrong. Signed, Kyle. Inside, a USB drive. More recordings, incriminating the pastor himself. Redemption? Or trap? Alex handed it to Ramirez, who whistled low. This could bury them. The fallout cascaded. Ellis resigned amid scandal, the Guardians splintering like dry leaves. Elmwood breathed easier, rainbow crosswalks painted on Main Street, a symbol etched in asphalt. Alex and Jordan celebrated with a weekend getaway. The lake house, their private Eden. Hikes hand in hand, stars wheeling overhead as they talked futures. Adoption maybe, or fostering kids like Riley once was. Back in town, Riley thrived, captaining the debate team, their voice a clarion. One evening, they invited Alex and Jordan to dinner. Thanksgiving, Thompson's table groaning with turkey and tentative toasts. To family, the man said, raising his glass, eyes on Riley. Alex clinked, Jordan's knee warm against his under the cloth. Love, it turned out, was the ultimate vandal, trashing walls, rebuilding stronger. Yet in quiet moments, Alex wondered about the scars, the notes folded in his drawer like pressed flowers of pain. They reminded him, vigilance wasn't fear, but fuel. And in Jordan's arms, under Elmwood's wide sky, he found the courage to keep teaching, keep loving, keep standing. Winter clamped down on Elmwood like a vice, snow blanketing the fields in deceptive peace, muffling the world's sharp edges. Alex Harper shoveled the walk with rhythmic scrapes, breath fogging in the dawn light, Jordan's silhouette in the window brewing coffee like a beacon. The arrest of Kyle had bought breathing room, the church scandal fading to tabloid fodder. But Alex felt the undercurrent. A subtle chill in hallway greetings, a parent's email questioning priorities in curriculum. GSA's holiday party was a burst of tinsel and truth circles, kids exchanging ornaments hand-painted with affirmations. You are enough. Riley strung lights with Miah, their laughter a melody against carols piped from tinny speakers. Dad's coming, Riley announced midway, casual as confetti. Alex paused, tape dispenser midair. That's huge. Riley grinned, lopsided. Yeah, said he'd bring pie. Apple, not bombs. The door swung open on cue, Thompson lumbering in with a foil pan, cheeks ruddy from cold. Whispers hushed. Eyes tracked him like a hawk in a dovecot. He set the pie down, clearing his throat with a rumble. Heard this was the place for real talk. Miah offered a plate, tentative. He took it, piling on cookies like a man's. By evening's end, he joined a circle, voice gruff but genuine. Lost my way once. Won't again. Riley's hug was fierce, a knot untying. Jordan arrived late, bearing hot cider in a thermos, his presence filling the room like sunlight. Who's ready for ugly sweaters? He boomed, unveiling horrors from the thrift store, reindeer with existential dread. Laughter erupted, barriers crumbling. As parents trickled in for pickup, Elena cornered Alex by the punch bowl. You're doing, she murmured, nodding at Thompson. Remind me why I don't strangle you for the drama. Alex chuckled. Keeps the blood pumping. Home was aglow with Jordan's twinkle lights, the tree a lopsided Charlie Brown triumph. They decorated in socked feet, ornaments clinking like toasts, Jordan hanging the Pride Star high, Alex teasing about his rustic angel. Perfection's boring, Jordan countered, stealing a kiss that deepened, hands framing Alex's face with tender fire. You're my chaos. Curled by the fire later, eggnog warming veins. Alex traced Jordan's knuckles, scarred from years of building. What if we made it official? Like Vegas elopement. No fuss. Jordan stilled, eyes searching. Thought you'd never ask. The yes hung unspoken, a vow sealed in flickering light. But midnight brought a call. Ramirez, voice clipped. Kyle's talking. Says the pastor had a partner in the school. Someone feeding info. Alex is blood-iced. Who? Not saying yet. Watch your six. School resumed in a post-holiday haze. Resolutions scrawled in journals. Be braver. Alex's lit class dove into the Great Gatsby, dissecting dreams deferred, but the leak gnawed like termites. Whispers pointed fingers. The ancient history teacher, Mr. Lyle, with his mustache and mustache-twirling disdain for modern nonsense. Or the secretary, Mrs. Greer, whose Facebook rants against indoctrination were legend. Riley cornered him after bell, backpack zipped tight. Heard about the mole. It's gotta be Lyle. I saw him at the church picnic last summer. Alex nodded, filing it away. We'll gather more. Quietly. Their partnership had evolved, teacher-student blurring into allies, Riley's insights sharp as a hawk's. That week, the board's audit rolled in. Glowing reviews for GSA, recommendations for ally training. Hargrove grumbled in the minutes, but the vote passed 5-2. Victory tasted bittersweet, shadowed by the leak. Jordan, ever the fixer, installed a safe in the garage. For evidence, he said, but Alex saw the gun lock gleaming inside. Just in case, Jordan added, pulling him close. I build homes, babe. This one's ironclad. A snowstorm hit Friday, canceling classes. Elmwood hunkered under drifts. Alex and Jordan holed up, baking bread that filled the house with yeast and promise. Dough punched with frustrations, rising like hope. They talked rings, honeymoons, the life beyond threats. Kids, Jordan mused, flower-dusted. A little Harper's Reynolds running wild. Alex's throat tightened, the dream vivid. Tiny hands in theirs, teaching tolerance by living it. But Saturday brought uninvited company. A knock at noon, Mrs. Greer on the stoop, umbrella dripping. Heard rumors, she started, eyes darting. About Lyle. He's unstable. Alex invited her in, Jordan hovering in the kitchen like a sentinel. Over tea, she spilled. Overheard conversations, Lyle's rants about protecting traditions. I didn't know, she whispered, shame etching lines deeper. But it's wrong. The tip led Ramirez to Lyle's desk, unearthing emails to Ellis, schedules, club rosters, Alex's address. Arrest Tuesday, quiet as falling snow. Lyle's plea? Just facts. But the board didn't buy it. Suspension pending investigation. Elena texted Alex, one down. Beers on me. Spring teased with thaws, mud sucking at boots as the GSA planned their big event. A pride assembly, speakers from Chicago's center. Riley emceed practice, script in hand, voice gaining wings. Thompson volunteered as chaperone, his presence a shield. Miah confessed nerves over her poem. It's about my girlfriend, and mom doesn't know. Alex coached gently. Start with your truth. The rest follows. The assembly dawned sunny, gym packed shoulder to shoulder, banners fluttering like flags of surrender. Alex emceed, heart swelling as Riley took the stage, words tumbling. We stand because we fall together otherwise. Applause thundered. Thompson wiped his eyes, unashamed. Jordan, in the back, caught Alex's gaze, thumbs up a private cheer. But during Q&A, a heckler rose, a guardian holdout, face twisted. This is poison. Security ushered him out, but the venom lingered. Post-event, cleanup revealed a slashed tire on Alex's car, message clear. Ramirez, we're on it. Jordan, I'll drive you till it's fixed. That night, over pizza on the couch, Jordan pulled a velvet box from his pocket. Rings simple, silver with etched vines. For Vegas. Or here, with the town watching. Alex slipped his on, the weight perfect. Here, let them see. The kiss sealed it, slow and sure, love a rebellion in quiet domesticity. Riley's update came via text. Dad wants to walk me at graduation. Alex replied, epic. But deeper currents stirred. Anonymous posts online, dredging old slurs. The fight wasn't over, but neither were they. In bed, Jordan's arm heavy across Alex's waist, he whispered, we're unbreakable. Alex believed it, snow melting to rivers of renewal. Summer hummed in, fireflies winking like conspirators as Elmwood's pride walk wound through streets once hostile. Alex and Jordan led afloat, Riley beside them in a crown of daisies, Thompson marching with a sign, Proud Dad. The crowd swelled, cheers drowning echoes of hate. At the park finale, speeches soared. Miah out to her mom via poem, tears and hugs the currency. Alex took the mic last, voice steady. Love isn't a classroom lesson. It's the homework we do every day. Jordan's hand found his in the roar, rings glinting. Vows exchanged under oaks, friends witnesses, the town a reluctant guest. Riley toasted. To more notes, the good kind. Healing wasn't linear, scars itched in humidity. Kyle wrote again, from Juvie, learning. Thanks for not hating back. Alex replied, brief, that's the point. Jordan built a treehouse in the yard, for future mini-us, beams hammered with dreams. Fall circled back, leaves gold as the life they'd forged, tense, tender, triumphant. Alex's classroom, once trashed, now thrived. Murals by students, Quotes from Audre Lorde curling walls. Riley, senior now, applied to colleges with essays on resilience. Your fault, they teased. Alex grinned. Guilty. In quiet evenings, notes traded places in the drawer. Threats faded. Thanks multiplied. Love, Alex learned, was the truest plot twist. Chilling warnings turned to warm welcomes, one heart at a time. The ink on Alex and Jordan's marriage certificate was barely dry, a crisp rectangle framed on the mantel like a captured sunbeam, when the first crack appeared, not in their foundation, but in Elmwood's fragile truce. It started with a whisper in the faculty lounge, coffee steam curling around words like budget cuts and club funding. Elena dropped her spoon, clattering against porcelain. They're targeting GSA again. Hargrove's motion, non-essential extracurriculars. Alex's grip tightened on his mug, the ceramic warm against rising ire. After everything, the assembly, the walk. Elena's eyes, lined with battle fatigue, met his. Hates a weed, Alex. Chops one head, grows two. Jordan, picking him up that afternoon, since the storm. Board meeting tonight. I'm coming. His tone brooked no argument. The contractor's resolve as unyielding as rebar. The meeting hall smelled of lemon polish and old grudges, folding chairs arranged in accusatory rows. Hargrove presided, gavel tapping like a judge's impatience. Fiscal responsibility demands sacrifices, he intoned, slides projecting deficits in red ink. When GSA scrolled up, murmurs stirred, supporters shifting, detractors preening. Alex stood, voice amplified by Jordan's steady hand on his back. This is an expense. It's existence. For kids like Riley who... Hargrove interrupted, slick as oil. Personal anecdotes aside, Mr. Harper. Votes. The tally, 4-3 against cuts. Cheers erupted from the back, Riley's contingent waving signs. But Hargrove's glare lingered, a promise of reprisal. Outside, under sodium lamps, Jordan pulled Alex close. We won that round. Alex exhaled, tension uncoiling. Barely. Feels like whack-a-mole. Riley's text lit up the drive home. You slayed. Dad bought cake. The celebration was impromptu. Thompson's kitchen, chocolate layers towering, laughter frosting the air. Miah brought her girlfriend, hands linked defiantly. The group toasted with milk, stories spilling. First crushes, first fights won. Thompson raised his glass last. To allies. Even late ones. His eyes on Alex held gratitude, a bridge mended. But dawn brought shadows. An email from an unknown address. Subject unearthed truths. Attached, scans, old photos of Alex at a Chicago rally, signs bold. Queer in here. The sender? Lyle, from his suspension limbo. Caption. Is this the role model our children need? Alex forwarded to Ramirez, stomach sour. He's grasping, Jordan said, deleting it from the laptop. But the poison spread, PDA chains buzzing. School days stretched taut, students sensing the underbelly. In history, dissecting McCarthyism, a kid piped up, like now, calling people out for who they love. Heads nodded, Alex guided gently. Exactly. History's our map, don't repeat the detours. Riley stayed after, brow furrowed. Lyle's posting everywhere. My feed's full of it. Alex sighed. Block and report. We counter with facts. Jordan's response was action. A community forum, flyers wheat pasted on poles, stand with our students. Neighbors trickled in at the library, faces familiar from the walk. Ms. Patel from the board spoke. I've seen the good GSA does. Don't let fear win. Questions flew. How to support, how to speak up. Thompson shared haltingly. I was the fear. Now, I'm the change. The weekend was theirs, a stolen breath. Picnic at the lake, sandwiches wrapped in wax paper, water lapping like applause. Jordan skipped stones, ripples widening. Remember our first date? You tripped over that root, blamed the wine. Alex laughed, splashing him. Lies. You distracted me with that smile. They swam, water cool on skin, emerging to towels and tangled limbs on the shore. Marry me again? Jordan murmured, ring glinting wet. Alex's yes was a whisper, sealed with salt-lipped kiss. Monday's mail brought a summons. Hargrove, calling an emergency session on staff conduct. Elena prepped war, witness lists, Lyle's history of complaints. He's gunning for you, Alex. Resign quietly. Alex's jaw set. Hell no. Jordan drove him, hand on gear shift to talisman. The session was a circus. Hargrove waving prints, voice booming accusations. Advocacy over education. Alex rose, calm as a lectern. My life is my lesson. These kids learn empathy because they see it lived. Cheers from the gallery. Riley filmed discreetly, live streaming to supporters. Votes swung. Censure for Lyle, full backing for Alex. Hargrove adjourned in defeat, face thunderous. Reprieve was short. That night, fire trucks wailed. The queer center, torched. Graffiti charred. No more rainbows. Ramirez, Guardian's remnants. Prince Matchkyle's crew, copycats. Alex and Jordan joined the vigil, candles flickering in unity circle. Riley spoke, voice unbroken. Fire takes, but it forges too. Thompson held a sign beside Mia's mom, arms linked. Rebuilding started swift. Fundraisers, bake sales, Jordan's crew donating labor. Alex taught a unit on resilience. Guest speaker a center volunteer, tattooed and triumphant, scars like badges. Hate burns hot, quick. Love, it smolders eternal. Kids wrote letters, mailed to survivors. Your light guides us. Spring break brought renewal. A road trip, just Alex and Jordan, winding through Appalachia. Cabins with creaky porches, stars unpolluted. They hiked ridges, breaths sinking to birdsong. This, Jordan said at a summit, wind whipping, is us. Peaks and valleys. Alex leaned into him, world vast below, and everything in between. Back home, Riley's prom loomed. Tux fittings, corsage panics. Non-binary formal, they joked, but anxiety laced it. Alex helped shop, Jordan tie-tying expert. Thompson footed the bill, teary, my kid, shining. The night was magic. Jim aglow, Riley dancing with Mia's girlfriend as third wheel, laughter-free. Summer swelled, graduation caps tossed like confetti dreams. Riley's speech, Mr. Harper taught me history's not past. It's us, writing now. Diploma in hand, hug fierce, college awaits. But Elmwood's home. Alex blinked back tears, Jordan's arm a steady anchor. Yet autumn whispered warnings. New pastor at the church, sermons skirting edges. A kid in class, quiet Timmy, confessed after hours, my uncle's back. Talking tough. Alex listened, no judgment. Tell someone. You're not alone. Timmy nodded, first step taken. Their anniversary fell on Harvest Moon. Dinner at the diner. Booth where Riley and Dad reconciled, pie for dessert. Jordan's toast, to notes that changed everything. Alex clinked, heart full. Love wasn't absence of storm, but sailing through. As leaves fell, Alex found a new note in his box. Not threat, but poem from Timmy. Thanks for the map. He pinned it up, beside Riley's old essay. The classroom, once wreckage, now a testament. Walls holding stories, unbreakable. Elmwood's first frost-etched windows and lace. A fragile beauty, masking the chills seeping into bones and bones of community. Alex Harper's syllabus for the new semester gleamed with ambition. Units on intersectionality, guest panels from Chicago, but the air hummed with unease. Lyle's censure a boomerang swinging back. Anonymous leaflets littered the lot. Cleansed the curriculum, caricatures of Alex with devil horns. Jordan burned them in the backyard pit, flames devouring paper demons. Fuel for change, he growled, but his eyes held worry's shadow. Elena called a staff huddle, coffee bitter as resolve. Petitions circulating. Hargrove's behind it, pushing for your transfer. Alex's laugh was sharp. To where? The broom closet? Murmurs of support rippled. Ms. Patel, erstwhile silent, spoke up. We've got your back. Literally, yoga clubs doing a fundraiser. Laughter broke tension, a brief sunburst. Riley, home from freshman orientation, crashed on the couch with tales of dorm life. Queer alliance meetings, late-night debates on Butler. Missed this chaos, they said, gesturing at the bungalows lived in sprawl. Thompson joined for barbecue, apron tied, flipping burgers with paternal pride. College kid now. Empty nest hits hard. Riley rolled eyes, affectionate. You'll survive, old man. Jordan passed plates, his easy banter drawing Thompson out. Ever think of dating again? The man flushed. One bridge at a time. The petition peaked at the next board meeting, a snake of signatures uncoiling on the table. Hargrove preened. Community speaks. But counterpetition dwarfed it. Hundreds, from PDA to pastors, endorsements from the new church leader. Inclusion is gospel. Votes tied. Elena broke it. Voice iron. No transfer. Full stop. Gallery erupted. Alex's exhale was collective. Post-meeting, Jordan whisked him to the lake. Truck bed lined with blankets. Telescope for stars. Escape pod, he quipped, uncorking wine. They lay tangled, constellations wheeling. What if we left? Jordan ventured, fingers tracing Alex's collarbone. Bigger city, fresh start. Alex turned, moonlight silvering his face. And abandon the fight? No. This is our ground. Jordan's kiss was agreement, deep and anchoring. School's pulse quickened with homecoming. Floats garish, bonfire crackling secrets. GSA's entry, a phoenix rising, glitter ash wings, Riley returning as alum mentor. Timmy, once quiet, helped build, his uncle's influence waning under family talks. He apologized. Timmy confided to Alex, hammer pausing. Said sorry for the noise. Alex clapped his shoulder. Growth's messy. Good on you both. The game buzzed electric. Stands a kaleidoscope of faces. Thompson cheering horse. Miah and girlfriend hand in heart pom-poms. Jordan tossed a football with locals. Barriers blurring in gridiron glee. But halftime brought shadow. A flare in the woods. Chants faint. Guardians echo, fizzling under police lights. Ramirez texted, handled. Juveniles again. Winter holidays loomed. Lights strung early against encroaching dark. Alex hosted a GSA gift wrap, kids bundling books for shelter drives. A new face emerged. Lena, sophomore with braids and bravado, out as lesbian to thunderous family silence. They'll come around, Riley coached, rapping fierce. Alex watched, heart twinging, echoes of his own closet days. Or you build your own family here. Jordan's gift that year was intimate. A leather journal, pages for our story. Prompts like first fight, dream house. They filled it fireside, words weaving tighter bonds. Christmas with Thompson was tentative tradition. Tree trimming, carols off-key, Riley's playlist mixing Miah with queer anthems. To new chapters, Thompson toasted, eyes misty on his child. New Year dawned crisp, resolutions whispered over mimosas. Alex's, amplify voices. Jordan's, build more than walls. But January bit hard. A complaint filed against Alex, anonymous. Inappropriate discussions of sexuality. Investigation loomed. Hargrove's fingerprints smudged on the form. Elena lawyered up, Jordan's Chicago contacts descending like Avengers. The hearing was sterile, conference room air thick with legalese. Accuser masked. No show, just affidavits from concerned parents. Alex testified, voice even, I teach history. Love's part of it, Harriet's devotion, Turing's tragedy. Questions probed. Do you disclose personal life? Never. The panel deliberated hours. Verdict. Unsubstantiated. Reprimand to filer for false report. Relief was champagne-soaked. Elena toasting. To witches who sink. But the toll lingered. Sleepless nights. Jordan's arms a cradle. Your steel, he murmured. Alex clung. Vulnerability raw. With you, yeah. Spring thawed secrets. Lena's parents at a coffee meet. Alex mediating. We love her, Mom said. Tears salting words. Just scared. Steps forward. Family dinners. Flags in windows. Timmy's uncle joined a workshop. Jordan facilitating. Hammering nails, not judgments. Prom season swirled. Lena asking Miah to dance. Spotlights catching blushes. Riley DJ'd. Tracks pulsing acceptance. Graduation followed. Caps airborne. Timmy valedictorian. Speech on bridges, not walls. Hugs abounded. Thompson's proud. Jordan's bearish. Summer's heat-baked revelations. Hargrove retired. Successor a young ally with rainbow lapel. The center reopened grander. Mural by GSA grads. Alex and Jordan honeymooned local. Cabin in the dunes. Sand and sheets. Love lazy and lush. Our map, Jordan said, tracing dunes. Alex smiled. Drawn in heartbeats. Fall returned. Apples crisp. Classes brimming. A new student. Shy Javier. Pinned a trans flag. Alex welcomed soft. Your pace. Notes accumulated. Thanks from Lena. Updates from Riley in college. The drawer overflowed. Threats relics. One evening, stargazing, Jordan proposed again, playful, ring from pocket. For eternity's renewals. Alex's laughter bubbled. Love, eternal, ever unfolding. As the equinox tipped the world toward longer nights, Elmwood streets glowed with jack-o'-lanterns, carved faces leering benevolent under harvest moons. Alex Harper's classroom hosted a Histories of Hauntings night, ghost stories from marginalized voices, candles flickering safe in jars. Kids arrived in costumes. Lena as Frida, beret bold. Javier as a steampunk NB inventor, gears whirring. Jordan manned the snack table, caramel apples dipped with flair, his laughter a bass note to the tales. Riley video called midway, dorm chaos backdrop. Missed the spook fest, they crowed. Thompson, in dad jeans and a reluctant wizard hat, passed popcorn. Tell Em about the time your mom chased ghosts with sage. Smiles softened edges. Family, expanded. But as stories waned, a knock. Ramirez, off-duty, face grave. One last loose end. Pastor Ellis, fleeing to Canada. Extradition pending. Alex nodded, closure bittersweet. Let justice chase. Halloween's revelry spilled into streets, parades of glitter and groans. Alex and Jordan trick-or-treated Javier's block, his family's door cracked open to wary welcome. Come in, his aunt urged, tamales steaming. Stories swapped. Abuela's migration, Alex's rally days. Barriers bowed to candy bowls. November's chill sharpened edges. Thanksgiving a mosaic. Thompson's table extended to Elena, Miss Patel, the GSA crew. Turkeys carved, pies sliced, toasts to tables that grow. Lena's parents joined, hands tentative but present. We're learning, Dad admitted over yams. Jordan's arm around Alex under the cloth was silent solidarity, love's quiet pulse. Board elections loomed, Hargrove's vacancy a battleground. Alex's name floated, whispers of running. You'd kill it, Jordan said over breakfast, toast buttered thick. Voice for the voiceless. Alex wavered, the spotlight a double-edged sword. Riley advised via text, do it. Be the map you were for me. Campaign kicked off low-key. Coffee meets, door knocks with flyers, education for all. Supporters swelled. Thompson pounding pavement, Lena designing logos, Javier's family hosting potlucks. Debates in the VFW hall crackled. Opponent, a slick businessman named Crane, touting basics over agendas. Alex countered, basics include belonging. No child left in shadows. Election night was agony ecstasy, community center humming with nerves. Jordan's hands sweated in Alex's as tallies climbed. Close, Elena murmured, nails bitten. Final count, Alex by 87 votes. Cheers deafened, hugs crushed. Crane conceded gracious, handshake firm. You earned it. Winter solstice brought ceremony. Swearing in under wreaths, gavel passed like a torch. Alex's first motion, expanded mental health resources, GSA funded. Passes unanimous. Jordan's grin at homecoming dinner. Mr. Board Member. Hot. Laughter led to bed. Bodies mapping familiar territories, love's language fluent. Snow-blanketed Yuletide. Holidays layered. Hanukkah lax with Patel's kin. Kwanzaa kin-era lighting with center friends. New Year's Eve. GSA bash. Fireworks from the roof. Resolutions shouted to stars. Javier came out fully, family toasting with sparkling cider. Proud, Aunt beamed. January thawed with retreats. Board workshop on equity, Alex facilitating. Crane attended, notebook open. Eye-opening, he admitted post-session. Bridges built, plank by plank. Valentine's was intimate. Jordan's scavenger hunt. Clues to lakeshore, picnic under ice-rimed trees. Heart-shaped sandwiches, vows renewed on chilled lips. Forever's my favorite plot, Jordan whispered. Spring equinox bloomed defiant. Cherry blossoms defiant against late frosts. Prom glitters, Javier crowned king. NB royalty, crown askew. Lena's speech at assembly. Love letters to selves. Applause reigned. Graduation caps spiraled. Javier's valedictorian nod to Alex. You saw me first. Hugs, tears, Thompson's proud for all. Summer solstice bonfire. Stories circled, Riley home, leading chants. Thompson dated, a widow from the center, sparks tentative. Your nudge, He credited Jordan over beers. Fall equinox closed the wheel. Apples pressed to cider. Classes convened. New notes in Alex's drawer. Javier's college essay draft. Lena's thank you. Threats? Faded photographs, yellowed. One twilight walk. Jordan stopped under oaks. Our story's epic. Alex leaned, rings clinking. And ongoing. Elmwood, once chilling, now warmed. Love the ink, rewriting all. In the end, the classroom stood sentinel, windows framing sunsets, walls whispering. You are safe. You are seen. You are loved.